This is a vital game for Illawarra tonight. Dean Schifilliti takes his side out to be met by a tremendous crowd. 17,500 is approximately the ground record. They won't be there tonight, but not far from it. Let's have a look at the team that will represent the men in red tonight. Riolo at the back. Wishart, Rodwell, McGregor, Britten. Fritz, Simon. It's the old half 5/8 combination. Waddell, Schifilliti, Goldspink, Lindner, Piccinelli and Cross. And Little Artie, Graham Murray is the coach. And look at them, they're really packed in. And that is over against the banks, really, of the Pacific Ocean, or as Fatty Vaughton once called it, the Wollongong Ocean side of the ground. They are really crammed in, like tuna. Here they come, the Dragons. Michael Potter takes them out. A little raspberry from the home crowd. They weren't happy with the delaying tactics. But this corresponding clash last year was a beauty. One of the games of the year. There's the team for the Saints. Potter, Herron, Coyne, Bradley, Donnelly, Smith, Goldthorpe, Priddle, Brown. He comes in for Wayne Collins, Tierney, Barnhill, Gourley and Mackay. Brian Smith is their coach. There's young Brown. Tonight's referee, Stephen Clark. In this corresponding game last year, Saints kick off. Brad Mackay is playing with 15 stitches in his mouth from a state of origin injury. On halfway. Simon, his kicking game, vital to the prospects of Illawarra. Potter. Simon leads the race down the ground, puts them all onside. Good kick and chase. Oh, Donnelly taken underneath by Simon, and a big hit by Waddell. That's inflamed the situation. Touch judge in.
The penalty has already been awarded for pushing, but that's not why the touch judge is in. He's seen something untoward in the tackle from Steve Waddell. Tony Smith reacted. A big shot put on Donnelly here.
Well, I can't see anything wrong with it from that shot.
Oh, what about those 8 forearm jolts?
I'm talking about Waddell's tackle, do you mind?
Yeah. Well, what about now?
Have a look. What about that one? And
What's that arm doing?
Absolutely.
Yeah, good on you, Ray. How old are you?
What went on the ground, I agree with. The original tackle was fine. Tierney.
Tierney.
Still a bit of spite early in the game.
Showing a little bit of an elbow there, Tierney, out of antagonism. And the referee getting in the middle of this. He's got to control this now.
Native's not happy. Goldthorpe is wide to the right. They come left. Oh, Gourley! Beautiful pass, but it's forward.
There's a nice move there by St George. Cut out 2 or 3 players, the long pass to find Gourley. Beautiful pass this from Brown. And he came from behind the line, the Penguin, in Graham Bradley, but the pass did go forward.
Schifilliti goes right for Lindner. Lindner gets a pass away. Britten to play it. 28 out from the line. Schifilliti, long ball. Piccinelli, longer pass for Rodwell. Rodwell taken. Good defence, Mark Coyne. 5 tackles gone. Simon goes for a drop goal. Doesn't look too bad. It's a goal. It's a field goal for John Simon from a long way out. 40 metres out. Illawarra leads St George 1-0. I thought the final of that was over earlier today. 1-0. The Steelers lead the Dragons.
Well, not a bad tactic either by John Simon to get at least a point on the board. It's been 0-0 till then, and could have gone either way, but Illawarra, both sides are starting to look very good with the football in their hands. They're both making good metres. Both teams are willing to throw the ball around and give it some air, but Illawarra, to my way of thinking, they're hitting the ball on the advantage line a lot better than the Saints are, through the likes of Lindner and Waddell.
You do get the impression it might be the kind of a game as a mistake made out wide by Rod Wishart. It's the kind of a game where 1 point may well be very crucial down the track. I'm sure we're going to see points scored in this second half.
Well, that wasn't such a good pass from Paul McGregor inside his own 20-metre line for Wishart, but Wishart will probably say that he was entitled to catch it. Now Saints, they go on the attack. Run around between Coyne and Smith. Coyne playing it. Potter's the dummy half. Receiver is Bradley. 15 away from the line. Nobody on the blind side, really. Goldthorpe. They come back to the centre. Barnhill turns it inside for Smith. Acting half Brown. Tierney. Straight at them. 8 metres out. Brown from dummy half. He might have used the referee. He's under the post and it's a try. Try for young Nathan Brown. Right under the posts. Saints lead 4-1.
Yeah, nice play by Brown. See, when he got it from dummy half, he hesitated. When he hesitated, so did the rest of the Illawarra defence, and that allowed him some momentum to get over that try line through 3 tackles. Great effort, Nathan Brown.
It wasn't so evident on the replay, though. Herron from right in front. No problems. And St George lead by 6 points to 1. Friday night football. Tierney, straight over the top of them. Oh, he's a steamroller, out of control, the big fella. He's over the line, is he? No, he's short. Tempted for a double movement. Brown, knocked down by Rodwell. Penalty goes to the Saints. They're all offside.
And if Rodwell doesn't knock the ball down, it's a try out wide. He knew that he had to get it down. They had a 4-man overlap out there. They must take the points now. I think it was Rodwell who came up with the try saver on Tierney. He got through the first line very easily. And he got out there early. Nobody out wide for Illawarra.
Herron taking a penalty shot. 15 out, not too far off centre. Strikes it straight between the uprights. So St George goes further in front. 8 points to 1. This is Britten. Schifilliti still down in back play. Piccinelli. Simon. Second man play. This is Walsh. Simon. And the penalty goes to the Steelers. George inside the 5. Wishart now from directly in front. 33 metres out. Again, he's offline, Wishart. He was able to force it dead, however. So the Steelers will get the football back. Piccinelli out the back and away from Fritz to McGregor. That's another good tackle by Bradley. Riolo at acting half, away for Simon to go to the air. Taken by Herron, who got good cover from Mark Coyne.
Well, I don't know whether it was good cover or not. I think Coyne actually changed direction to go and deliberately shepherd the man catching the ball. I'm going to give a penalty as Scott Gourley comes up with the mistake there.
There's no doubt about it, Peter. Mark Coyne did change direction, ran straight at Wishart.
Here we see, as we freeze it there, now watch this player. That's Mark Coyne. Wishart's the man coming through. There's the man catching the ball as play continues. Mark Coyne has got no interest at all in trying to catch the football. Should have been a penalty for the Steelers.
Long pass, order of the day for McGregor. Tries to get outside Bradley, but that big centre from St George has done a big job. Lindner, he didn't get the ball when he wanted it. It took a bit of the sting out of his run. Schifilliti for Simon. Piccinelli out wide. Flicks it out the back. Riolo picks it up. Waddell turns it back. Simon has to clean it up. Plenty of passing, but they lost 15 metres. Walsh. Schifilliti, half-time siren sounding in the background. Simon, long ball. McGregor tries to get a one-hander away, but loses it. And that will be half-time. St George leading Illawarra 8 points to 1. We'll take a break and be back with Peter Sterling and Paul Vaughton in just a moment. Welcome back to the Steelers Stadium with St George leading over Illawarra 8 points to 1. And on the board there, the statistics out of the first half with Peter Sterling. Let's have a look at them.
I'd venture to say that they're probably the closest set of statistics we've seen in the many matches we've covered this year. Really the only difference is down the bottom, the missed tackles. 12 to Illawarra, 7 for St George, and a couple of more handling errors for the St George team. But overall, very, very close. Although we said there were quite a few mistakes, the conversion rate of holding the ball through to their 6 tackles is very high. Both done it on 9 occasions.
Wishart kicks off to get the second half underway. Illawarra with plenty of work to do. St George have just got to keep it going. Young Brown scored the try in the first half. Gourley makes a break on the blind. Bradley supports. Donnelly chimes in. 30 metres out from the line.
Sorry, Ray, that was the same play we saw St George use in the first half where they were called back for forward pass.
Tierney. Now Coyne. Infield goes Herron, bombarded by the defence. But already in the opening minute of play in the second half, St George have opened Illawarra up. Potter, taken by Lindner. Mackay runs the blind side, trying to make the extra man through his presence on that rather narrow blind side. This is their last. Goldthorpe. Riolo goes up and comes down with the ball. Great take by David Riolo.
That's a magnificent take because he didn't really get the body in good position. He's had to reach for it after climbing. Gets good momentum, but you see the arms away from the body, just making it that little bit more difficult.
The Steelers should come away with this scrum win, 30 metres out from the St George line. Lock forward picked it up. John Cross, and he ran into a great tackle. Priddle must have come out of that front row very quickly. Simon, Fritz, McGregor, Rodwell runs the angle, but St George, 3 players there, 2 in fact, making the tackle. Goldspink straight up the centre. St George calling for numbers on the left. Schifilliti, slow play the ball. Simon got away from Barnhill, beat another. 7 metres out. He mightn't be all that fast, but he's very strong. Fritz, Riolo, Rodwell. 2 metres from the line. Riolo, Simon, Goldspink, Piccinelli. Long pass out, Britten, he'll score! Jonathan Britten.
And a beautiful try out of the Steelers. They scored first, they're back in the game, 8 points to 5. Lovely pass in the end by Piccinelli, but the original break put it down to John Simon, beat 4 or 5 of them. From here, sloppy pass there, a couple of decoys ran through, always had the numbers. Lovely pass all the same by Piccinelli. Cut out a couple to an unmarked man. Britten over for the try.
Yeah, it's just numbers out wide there. Thought Ian Herron did a pretty poor job on the initial break coming in, put a lot of pressure on Michael Potter. And eventually when they went wide, you'll see that Graham Bradley does not come in defence. Now the pass that goes astray here actually helped Illawarra. This is the one. Gourley's in. Now, as we freeze it there, you'll see Graham Bradley is well back. There's Noel Goldthorpe on that line there. As we play on, and that allowed Piccinelli to go to the line. You still see Bradley backing away. And Jonathan Britten, he had McGregor inside him who could have taken the ball and scored as well.
It'll require a tremendous kick. None from 2 tonight. There it goes, but again he's wide. No further points. 8-5, St George.
Neil Piccinelli in the same role as Scott Gourley, hitting the ball in the fringe of the ruck, but he hasn't been as effective, Piccinelli. And again, a kick out on the full from Illawarra. Graham Murray will have nightmares over the kicking game in the last 2 matches.
This is what they did to themselves in the Brisbane game.
Exactly, Paul.
Twice or 3 times in a row, they cost themselves 10, 12 points. Replacement coming on, Dean Callaway, who is a hooker. No doubt he will replace Schifilliti.
8-5 the score. Gourley. Brown. Goldthorpe. Turns it inside. Hardy tried to juggle it back and Priddle is able to pick it up. Brown. This is the last field goal attempt by Goldthorpe. It looks good. 9-5 St George.
Well,
Drop goal for Noel Goldthorpe and 9-5 now the Dragons.
And why not just take the point if it's on offer? They've been down there a while. And they go back now with a 4-point lead. A try in front. Still 15 minutes left on the clock, so a lot of time for both sides. But even this far out, Fatty, St George, I just can't see how Illawarra can lift themselves to beat them.
Their defence has been too good. The last-ditch defence as well has been tremendous. We saw Schifilliti leave the field. Must admire him for his courage. He had a great game while he was out there. In the end, the injury took its toll, and Callaway's the man who's gone on.
Above Illawarra on the table, so if they can register a win, as you say, Ray, the gap just starts to increase.
Michael Neal running to Rod Wishart's wing, but Bradley, he was the centre on that side. Penalty goes to Illawarra. Tallis was not a marker. The referee ruled that he wasn't in position as a marker, so he was in fact offside. Now let's go to the sideline. Yes, Steve.
Yeah, the good thing for this St George side is they've got Noel Goldthorpe, who's got a short kicking game, Tony Smith a long one, whereas Illawarra have to rely on John Simon.
Well, they don't if they have Ian Russell on the field, do they? And that's the question. When will he be back in the top grade?
And I've just cast doubt on the fact that Illawarra can get back into this game. That means there's a big chance of scoring here, so a big set of 6 for the Steelers.
Piccinelli to play it. They're wide and they're deep. The Steelers, is this their opportunity? Neal turns it back for Lindner. The Saints were waiting for him though. Brown and Priddle. This time McGregor throws the dummy, tries to go through. 5 gone. 9 metres from the line. Callaway. Simon. Again Bobby Lindner. Now it's out for Rodwell. Rodwell tackled, and that's the end of the tackle count. Well, Lindner and McGregor, particularly Lindner, how many times has he tried to absolutely ramrod his way through St George tonight?
Once again though, Ray, the Illawarra Steelers just content to pass the ball straight out along the line. Instead of half-time, if they change the point of attack, they will make some breaks. They did it once or twice and made some good ground earlier. Only Gourley saved a try earlier, but they really need to work on their attack.
That is something they do generally pretty well out there with McGregor and Rodwell. Do a scissors move or get a man coming back on the different angle. We haven't seen a lot of it. Bobby Lindner, a big charge here. It was a great tackle from Nathan Brown front on as well.
Now the penalty goes to the Steelers. That's against the young bloke for not striking the ball with his foot in the play of the ball. Well, what do you do here?
10 to go. You take a kick to make it 9-7. It's right in front. John Simon, they've got a big decision to make here, and they're taking a quick tap.
Piccinelli. Well, what would you have done, Sterlo?
I'll tell you in a couple of tackles, mate.
Thank you, Peter. Simon. 2 metres from the line. Callaway. Cross. Neal. Michael Neal. 8 metres out. Bobby Lindner from dummy half. Gets out of 1. They're so close to the line. Neil. Cross. Great tackling by St George's. Gourley and Brown. Simon is down injured. Neil, Izzard, Rodwell. Herron makes the tackle. That's the turnover.
Well, I can't believe they didn't kick the goal, Ray.
Looking for Law now. Wrong end of the field. And the wrong side of the scoreboard. Michael Neal. Fritz. Inside for McGregor. Here's a chance. They're over the halfway. They lose it. Bobby Lindner kicks it ahead. Donnelly will let it go.
Great cover again from St George. It was combined tackle from Michael Potter and Nathan Brown. Brown has come up with a tremendous effort tonight, 33 tackles. And that one was an important one with Michael Potter. Lindner putting the boot to the ball at the end of it. And over the sideline it goes.
Well, they made the break but ran out of players. No support on the inside from McGregor. It came too late. Someone's being told to go to the blood bin by Clark.
Tony Priddle and Neil Tierney coming on with 2 minutes left. All too late. St George should win this scrum and close the game down.
Interesting to know what Tony Priddle actually said to the referee, Steve Clark. He sent him to the bin. I think he might have doubted the referee's parentage. Coyne. Saints just inside the 30-metre line. Brad Mackay.
It's really been a big effort from all the State of Origin reps tonight. Bobby Lindner has been outstanding. I thought he'd get a rest, but Ray Murray's gone with him. Brad Mackay too has worked the place down. Coyne every now and then has come into the play. Rob Wishart's been fairly quiet, but backing up a couple of days later after what we saw on Monday night is an effort in itself.
That's a really accurate little kick there by Noel Goldthorpe, just finding the line 20 metres out. He didn't go for anything too extravagant.
And I didn't mean to leave Paul McGregor out. He's been outstanding also.
Yeah, Bobby Lindner's one of those players that the coach wouldn't like to give a rest because he's always capable of putting something on out of the ordinary. Hoping he's had a great game tonight. Started well and he's been involved all through the match.
McGregor fading across the ground, trying to put Riolo into a gap. Dale Fritz just outside their own 20-metre line. Full-time siren must only be seconds away now. McGregor, Callaway, Piccinelli. Riolo up in the line. Fritz tries to step inside Mackay. McGregor. Piccinelli. Neil. There's the siren. Neil goes for a desperate kick and chase. It doesn't come off. St George wins. St George defeating Illawarra 9-5 to go back to the top of the league ladder.